Hey guys, this is Clinton Jeff, and today we're checking out the Dyson V11 Absolute Pro. If there's one tech company that I've been particularly obsessed with, it's Dyson. This company has been creating futuristic tech for years now. I mean, they create things that don't even look like they're from the current time period at all. I mean, look at this vacuum cleaner. It's more like a plasma gun, but it's a vacuum cleaner. And have you seen their hair dryer? Or even their hair curler? I mean, I wish I had long hair just so I could try their hair curler. I mean, even their lamp looks cool and steampunk. But with Dyson, it all started with their cordless vacuum cleaners. Now, I hate vacuuming. I hate lugging around this giant loud thing with its annoying long wire and dragging it around everywhere. I mean, I hate vacuuming so much that I even bought a robot vacuum cleaner just so I'd have something automatically cleaning everything every day. But neither of these is really a good solution. Ideally, I should be vacuuming every couple of days, especially since I live in a really dusty city. I mean, have you seen the dust on the shelves behind me? Yikes. And that's why I'm so interested in Dyson's Absolute Pro series. This is the V11, it's the latest in the line. And honestly, this is kind of how all vacuum cleaners should look. The amount of tech in this thing is amazing. And it's brought a lot of excitement into a very boring line of consumer electronics. But of course, it all comes at a price. The previous Dyson vacuum cleaners are much cheaper now. There's the V7 Animal, which is the cheapest. There's also the V8 Animal Plus and the V8 Absolute Plus. And there's also last year's Cyclone V10 Absolute Pro. But the V11 is where it's at right now in terms of performance and features. There's a base model that comes in cobalt or blue. And then there's this premium gold model that has a couple more bling to it. The accessories and attachments that come with it are pretty much the same across all options. But this might vary depending on the market that you're buying it in or where you're buying it from. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's talk about design. If Apple made vacuum cleaners, they'd look like Dyson's. The Dyson V11 Absolute Pro has an inline design where the dust is sucked in and enters the bin straight away without any change in direction. The bin is big enough that you can clean an entire room and maybe one more without the bin being completely filled up entirely. But of course, this also depends on how dusty your rooms are. Like if you're vacuuming your house after 100 years, the bin is gonna get filled up pretty fast. The V11 also has a larger battery this time around, which is why the base is that much more chunkier below the trigger button. As a result, the V11 is a little bit heavier, but as you can see, it's a well-balanced package so you can use it without worrying about it falling over. In addition, there's also a HEPA filter for the air that's exiting the cleaner when it's in use, which is also larger in the V11, so you don't have to worry about unclean air hitting you in the face as you're vacuuming around. But the biggest change on the V11 Absolute Pro has to be the LCD at the back. The circular LCD at the back gives you relevant information on the mode that you're currently in, or the remaining battery life, or even error messages if something goes wrong, like if the filters are not replaced properly. It also tells you how to fix it, and there's also maintenance reminders as well. Honestly, just the fact that this shows you remaining battery life means that this is definitely worth the addition. So unlike most other cordless vacuum cleaners, you're not suddenly surprised with a dead battery. Dyson also has a really cool floor standing charging dock as well for the V11 Absolute Pro that comes along with all versions, be it nickel, blue or the gold variant. It's really convenient, and I gotta admit, it's a fun, posh way to show off your expensive purchase like a piece of art in your living room. Honestly, literally everyone who has visited my apartment in the last couple of weeks has asked me about it. All you have to do is place the Absolute Pro into the dock, slide it in, and that's it. Charging. So that's the design, kinda. Let's talk about performance next. Dyson is one brand that doesn't really compromise on anything in their product line. And that's especially true when it comes to power. The V11 Absolute Pro is the most powerful vacuum cleaner they've ever made. The Dyson Digital Motor V11 revs up to about 125,000 RPM or 60 times a second, which is just crazy, honestly. Now, power is one thing, but the refinements that have gone into making this machine is just freaking awesome because you would expect this to be really loud, right? Well, not really. Dyson has gone the extra mile to make sure that the sound dampening is actually really good. Likewise, there's no vibrations at all. I mean, it does kind of still sound like a vacuum cleaner, but at least it's not as loud. But that being said, it actually does make a really cool plasma gun-like sound every time you stop the motor, and I am obsessed with that sound, like seriously. I mean, I'm a nerd, so I mean, honestly, I'm not even going to pretend to understand what's the reason for that sound, but it's cool and I like it. I mean, there are limits to my tech knowledge as well, guys. Come on. Because of the amount of top-notch refinements that have gone into this thing, it's really easy to forget how much power you're holding, which is probably what Dyson wanted when they created this, because it's supposed to be really easy enough for anyone to use, which it is. Coming to cleaning, obviously it does a really good job. I mean, this vacuum cleaner really sucks, which is a good thing because that's what a vacuum cleaner is supposed to do. There's 3 modes. There's Eco mode, Auto mode, and Boost mode. As expected, it does a much better job at cleaning and vacuuming than my gigantic old vacuum cleaner. I cleaned a carpet that was literally cleaned every day with my robot vacuum cleaner, and the V11 Absolute Pro literally still managed to take a layer of dust out of it. I couldn't believe how much dust there was in my house until I got rid of it. That's crazy. I mean, I could just show you 10 minutes of B-roll with the V11 sucking up dust, but come on guys, just take my word for it, please. Really, vacuum cleaner B-roll is really boring, no matter how dramatic I try to make it. To help with performance, there's a couple attachments that have their own kind of motors, like a high torque cleaner head for floors and carpets, which has stiff nylon bristles that pulls dust stuck in carpets, but also has a softer anti-static carbon fiber filament apparently, which helps with floors. This was definitely proven to me with the aforementioned carpet. Apart from that, there's also a bunch of other cleaning heads for different functions, like a cool, goofy, bendy one that can be used to clean the top of fans as well. The vacuum can also automatically detect what kind of floor you're using it on and adjust the settings accordingly. There's 3 sensors, one near the motor, one near the battery, and one in the attachment, depending on which one, which helps with this. Honestly, the only slight con that I noticed was that you have to keep the trigger button pressed as you use the V11. I wish there was a trigger lock feature, but oh well. I should also mention that this is a dry vacuum cleaner, so don't even think about using it to vacuum anything that's even remotely wet. Alright, so that's about it in terms of performance. Honestly, this is the best vacuum cleaner you can get in terms of power. Let's move on to battery life. Battery life on the V11 Absolute Pro is even better than before. There's a larger nickel cobalt aluminum battery, and this power is controlled by a dynamic load sensor using DLS technology. The DLS technology is based on the cleaning head in use or how much resistance it is facing and so on. But this also means that there's less wastage of battery over time. On auto mode, I got about 65 minutes worth of battery life, and this is when I had to keep it switched on and literally clean my entire house. But again, this also really depends on which mode that you're using it on. Obviously, the high power mode does take up more battery life. The battery takes about 5 hours to fully charge, which is pretty okay for a vacuum cleaner. Honestly, the nerd in me kind of wishes there was a fast charge option, but you know, honestly guys, it's not too bad. Also, I don't think Dyson imagines people using this vacuum cleaner for very extended time periods. I feel like they just want you to use it for about 10 or 20 minutes max. And if you do this every day, you won't really have that much dirt in your house. So there won't really be that much to vacuum either. The bin is really good enough for small little vacuum sessions, but if you're gonna vacuum your entire house, you will find yourself emptying that every so often. The bin also empties in a very cool way, which I have to admit, it's really appreciated. Alright guys, time for the CJ verdict. And here we go. As far as vacuum cleaners go, nothing cleans better than the Dyson V11 Absolute Pro. Honestly, I think I'm in love with a vacuum cleaner. No, but seriously, in terms of technology, this is cutting edge tech with an insane amount of attention to detail. You really do feel like you're holding something from the future. I should also throw in that the Dyson buying experience really makes you aware that you're buying a really premium product. Once you buy it, they'll send a Dyson person over to your house to help you set it up and give you a little information about it. These people are also really well trained and really professional human beings who are just genuinely excited about the company that they work for. That's just awesome to see. So should everyone go out and buy the Dyson V11 Absolute Pro? Well, there's this one thing, you know, there's the price. I mean, sure, it does cost a lot. If you're looking for something small that does the basic vacuum cleaning and the bare minimum, yeah, sure, maybe any other cheap vacuum cleaner will do a good job. But if you have a larger budget and you want assurance that you have literally the most powerful vacuum cleaner with the latest tech, that has no compromises and will clean even creepy hidden dust mites out of your life, well, then in that case, there's really nothing else better suited for you. But remember, this is the best that Dyson has to offer. If you want to experiment with a Dyson product first and you're on a budget, there are cheaper options like the V11 out there. And if you already have an older Dyson vacuum cleaner, I don't think there's really enough here for you to upgrade to it yet. But yeah, if you want the best, the Dyson V11 Absolute Pro is where it's at. Seriously guys, this is just an amazing piece of technology, honestly. Alright guys, so that's what I think about the Dyson V11 Absolute Pro. As always, if you guys have any questions about this, let me know in the comment section below. And hey, if you like this video, maybe hit a thumbs up right below or maybe subscribe to this channel. That would be really appreciated. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one. And just for dramatic effect, yeah.